He is, I mean, like, obviously I think he's amazing because I'm engaged to him, but he is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. He is never in a bad mood. He is always trying to make people laugh, and he is just like the happiest person to be around.
Kayla, probably as soon as I met her, she definitely changed my life all for the better. Like before her, I definitely didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have kids. It probably only took about 2 weeks into our relationship to realize that I didn't want to be with anybody else, that I definitely wanted those things. I wanted to get married. I wanted to have kids, and I wanted it all with her. Wow, what else can I say about her? She's just perfect for me.
I went to Drake's one night with a couple of my friends, and I had a really bad night, and I just kind of like threw on some leggings and went to Drake's, and I looked like a hot mess.
I honestly did not have the courage to go up and talk to her. I thought she was gorgeous, but just didn't have that that courage just to walk up and say hey. But luckily, I was actually with a mutual friend of ours, and she kind of played the matchmaker that night.
He didn't approach me, and I ended up leaving. And then a couple days later, Crystalline had asked me if I was single, and I told her I was. And she said that she'd been with a friend that thought that I was pretty, and I was like, is it the guy that was in that UK shirt? And I described what he looked like, and she was like, oh my gosh, that's him, because I had noticed him at the bar, but I couldn't approach him. So I had added him on Facebook, and then a couple of days later, he had sent me a message and asked me to go on a date.
I mean, I think that was definitely where we met first, and I was probably the most nervous I've ever been in my life whenever she came walking up to our table. Yeah, I think we just hit it off since then.
Ever since then, I think I haven't spent like a day apart from him since that day. We had taken a trip to Louisville, like literally the second week into our relationship, and it was so fun. We just got a hotel, we just went around the city, and we went out that night and had some drinks, and it was so fun.
And just hung out, and that was probably definitely one of the best nights of my life. The engagement, it was a little tricky. Told her I was going to take her out on a date. We went to a restaurant in Newport on the Levee.
He said we were going to dinner. We weren't really celebrating anything. We got a bottle of amazing wine. We just sat there and talked about everything. We had walked outside after dinner, and we were like looking over at the river, and we had heard that the Florida Georgia Line concert was going on. So he asked me if I wanted to walk down and just kind of listen to the concert. So,
and I bought this canopy, had a table set up, I had like a big screen TV, and then I had my laptop set up. Well, I created this long PowerPoint, and I had like a song in the background. I showed a bunch of pictures of a lot of the trips that we took. It was kind of funny because after we got done eating, we started walking down there, and I kept getting texts and phone calls from my dad saying that he couldn't get my laptop to work. And of course, I'm stressing out. Well, luckily, that same night, there was a Florida Georgia Line concert at Great American Ballpark. So I kind of was playing it off a little bit, like, hey, let's walk down there and let's just listen to it.
We kept walking, and we heard the concert, and all of a sudden I see this like tent set up with a TV, and my first thought was, are we gonna just like take this TV? Like, I had no idea what we were doing.
Finally, they got it to work, and finally, like, we ended up walking out to that park, and she saw this canopy set up and this TV and everything, and I'm thinking, you know, when I go walking up to it, she's gonna be like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Why are you touching this stuff? And amazingly, she's just like kind of looking around like, I don't know what you're doing, but I guess I got your back. Like, so I went walking up to it and typed on the computer for a second, and it started playing on the laptop.
And I walked up, and my picture was like on the slideshow. He played the slideshow, and then he got down on one knee and asked me to marry him. And he told me to turn around, and when I turned around, all of our like closest family members were there. It was awesome.
I was so nervous, but she said yes.
He is just the most incredible man I've ever met, and I don't care if it's pouring down rain and everything goes wrong that day. As long as I can get to the end of the aisle and say I do, I am completely fine. I just cannot wait to be his wife.
The sky so blue. Oh yeah, I want you to live forever.
Kayla, babe, I just want you to know that I feel so lucky just to have met you. And now that we've taken this next step, just thinking about all that and building this life together just makes me the happiest person on this planet. And just want to let you know that I love you so much. I really cannot wait to start this next part of our journey together.
I just want him to always know that I will love him until my very last breath. I tell him that all the time. There's nothing that will ever get in the way of the way I feel about him. I want to tell him how much I love him. He's amazing and has treated me so well, and I'm so fortunate to be able to be marrying him.